podcast. We got the Queen Bee of KO Boxing and my secret wife. Simply platonic, though. It's Mel Lubovac. How's it going, Mel?
Good, how are you? It's not so secret when your wife knows about it.
Yeah, I
Your
guess.
actual wife, right?
Right? She's cool with it, so we're fine.
Yep. Well, I like her better, so. Oh.
Oh. Do you forget that this is video recorded now and I can just take screenshots from this thing whenever I
Oh
want?
yeah. Yeah. No, not liking that. Not liking that. Okay, I like you. I like you a lot better, Tanner.
So you got KO Boxing. What number is it now? 83?
83.
On
Yeah.
September 7th.
Yes.
Now, I've seen Cam has been making some September 7th posts already. Is he fighting on this card?
Yes.
Perfect. Who's he fighting?
Well, now you're getting ahead of me. Hey, I had some vacation time, so yeah, I'm a little behind. I'm working on that. I have a matchmaker working on that right now.
Wonderful. So we're going to
Yeah.
see Cam back in the KO ring. We're obviously going to see Flavio Michel. I think he's a shoe-in.
Yeah.
Probably the Santoro brothers.
Correct. You want to keep guessing?
I guess I get. Are we going to see Brad Switzer?
Undecided right now.
Ooh, I want to see Brad.
Yeah, it's a question mark right now.
Who else are we going to see?
Robbie, cousin, Julian Klima,
Nice.
possibly Stan.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Big
the
card.
heavyweights right now are a question mark. So
Big card then.
yeah.
This will be a fairly long event.
Well, I always start with like 8 to 10. So
Then end up with 7.
usually, yeah. Yeah, so I mean I start with 10 just because, and then whatever happens. Usually six fights for a boxing card is enough.
Yeah.
So when we go 7 or 8, it's more than enough.
No Jelena.
No Jelena. No.
Do you have like a massive fan going in there right now?
Yeah, I do. Why, can you hear it?
Oh
Should I turn it
yeah.
off?
No, you can leave it. It's kind of funny.
It's a heating.
You have the heater on?
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with you? It's summer.
I know, but I always have the heat on. It was like, did I tell you the story when I was in Montreal and in my room I put the heat up to 26 and it wouldn't go any further. So I went downstairs to the concierge and I asked if they could, does the heat only go up to 26? And she goes, why did you want it hotter than that? But it would only go up to 26, so I kind of was cold.
Mel, what do you do in the wintertime?
I keep my house at 30.
Oh my God, I would die.
And I put heaters in my office because I can't stand the air conditioning.
30.
30.
I would
29.
die. I would
28
die.
to 30.
I hate to see your heating bill.
No, I have to keep it at that.
Wow. Do you have bad
Otherwise,
circulation?
I freeze. Possibly. I don't know. I guess that's what my brother-in-law said.
Jesus Christ. You better just move to a hot spot.
I know. I'm not meant to be in the city.
No.
No, I'm not at all. Like, I need to be living somewhere hot and tropic.
I think that's a good idea.
It is.
But
when I go to Mexico, I don't turn the air conditioning. I turn it off.
Shut up.
Yeah. There's no air conditioning in my room.
You don't sweat?
No.
No, there's something wrong with you. You should go see a doctor.
I should go see a doctor? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Have we heard back from my new friend Blaze?
I've spoken to him. He's become a friend lately. And then when he brought that up to me, I didn't know that whole situation happened. He brought it up to me. I was like, oh dear, Tanner's a friend of mine. So, I mean, he's not experienced. He's only had a few amateur bouts. So I don't know if he's willing. He wasn't planning on turning pro. So I don't know. I'll try to figure it out. We'll see.
You should tell your new friend not to talk shit then.
Was he talking shit? I don't know.
Well, you say things about me and then you block me on Facebook. Realistically,
He said stuff about you.
yeah, he did, but realistically, it doesn't really matter. But hopefully, he
Did you
takes it.
actually hear it, or did he say it to Lino?
No, he commented on one of my posts and then blocked me on Facebook.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I know there was something between him and Lino too, so I don't know.
Hopefully, he goes bananas, and then fuck shitty rap song.
I have no idea what you're talking about, actually.
Really?
So,
Oh,
no.
like the Blaze's claim to fame is that he's got this ice entertainment thing and he's a rapper, but really he's a nerd. But his big song is "Go Bananas." I'll send it to you. It's hilarious.
All right. Well, I'm not here to make fun of anyone.
He's got the rhythm of a fucking eggplant. But great. If we can fight, great. If we can't, whatever. Realistically, it doesn't fucking matter.
Okay. Well, I'll try to figure it out and I'll let you know.
So we haven't talked in a really long time. Well, we talk all the time, at least a couple times a week,
Yeah.
but not on the show.
Right.
You went over to Quebec. You looked like you had a
Correct.
fantastic time over there. You're having fun and seeing the sights and wearing flats and not heels and getting your butt got pictures taken of it in these fancy shorts.
Listen, no one knew that was my butt other than you, Jolena, and Brad Switzer. So, now that you've said it, but no one would have known that it was other than the three of you.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, the flats fucked up my feet completely. I had to wear heels the whole time because my feet are used to heels. Putting the flats on is what killed my feet. So went back to the heels, but yeah, no, it was a good time.
Did you
Just
get to interact with Simon at all?
a little bit, a little bit. I don't think at first that he knew I was involved with Braidwood's camp, so he was actually nice. He was nice. In the ring at the end of the fight, we shook hands and all is fine. I never had the issue with him. I never went back and forth with him. I didn't even have him on social media until after the fight. So.
Oh, I don't have him on social media anymore. Like he blocked me.
Oh, okay. Well, we became friends on social media after.
Which
Yeah,
from
not
what I
before.
hear, I'm very blockable on the internet. So
Well, it seems like everyone's blocking you.
yeah, I don't take offense to any of it.
No.
It's more fun. Well, what Simon doesn't know is I have three other different accounts that I control him on. So
Okay.
he would literally have to block all of them. But he did block my 7-year-old daughter.
Seriously?
Yeah, he blocked the Boogie Child.
But were you doing the post for the Boogie Child?
I did have my fingers in those posts, yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
But she is a very big fan of Adam. She really
No, of
likes
course.
Adam, so she likes to get involved in these situations a little bit. Where she actually was very excited that she was on Les Boogeyman documentary.
Yeah, I heard about it. You told me about that. There was a little bit of a cameo in there.
Very excited that she was on that. She's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a movie star now."
Yeah. It was a good documentary. They did a really good job on it. I thought it was well executed, so
Yeah, I have it on my PVR. I've watched it a couple times. They did a really good job. I obviously didn't watch the Simon portion because I don't understand a word they're saying.
yeah, I didn't watch that either. I wouldn't know either. So unless they had subtitles in there, but I don't think they did.
I tried to get a hold of the Julie, the punching Grace lady, to see
Yeah.
if there was a way that they could, because I have it recorded.
Hmm.
Like it's on my PVR, but realistically, for me to watch it, I'm just going to be looking at pictures of Simon, and
Right.
I'm not going to know what's going on. So if they could subtitle it somehow for me, I would love to watch it.
Yeah. No, so would I. I mean, hey, it's not the result I wanted with that fight, clearly. But hey, he came out. He fought a good fight, so you have to give him credit.
It was a surprising fight because I expected Simon to run around the ropes and try to tire Adam out, where Simon actually came out like a badass and met him in the center of the ring and threw down. And
Yeah.
nobody was actually expecting that.
No, he was a different Simon.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Adam was not Adam. And I knew that the minute that he walked, like he was walking into the ring. So It was not the typical Adam. It was not the Adam that comes out there ready to go. And when I looked at Simon come out and he was like doing this Tarzan thing, and then I looked over at my Jane and I was like, what the F is going on? Like, it just, his mind wasn't there with it. And of course, boxing is a mental game. And yeah, it just wasn't it. I looked over at Jelena and my dad's wife, and I was like, what the hell's going on here? Like he's standing there, and it's before the fight even started. As he was walking in, I was like, okay, something's up. Something's not there.
Everybody has a bad night, and I think that there was probably a little bit of underestimation, and the game plan was obviously for Simon to run.
Well, I think the game plan that they figured that Simon was going to run, but you always have to look at it to know that there might be a different game plan coming from them too. So you have to have a plan B. I don't know necessarily if they had plan B. I know that plan A was to outbox Simon, which my personal opinion, I wouldn't have done that. But hey, I'm not a coach and I'm not a fighter. So
Shit happens. What do you do?
yeah. Yeah.
I know you have a good relationship with Camille and Eye of the Tiger,
Yes.
so we could probably expect something in the future between KO and Eye of the Tiger management, maybe.
Between the two of us, yes. I don't know necessarily if there would be if you're talking about a rematch for Braidwood. I'm not sure. I don't think that necessarily will happen because the fight wasn't controversial. It didn't go to a decision. It wasn't 8 rounds. It wasn't,
Yeah.
back and forth where we could say, hey, there's a reason why we need a rematch. I think that if it did go the distance or if it even went to 7, 8 rounds, people would be saying, yeah, we want to see this fight again if it was a great fight. But
Yeah.
at 2.5 rounds, it really doesn't make sense for them to do that.
No, but when you look at the bank account, maybe if you could get these guys to fight for a lesser purse a second time, and let's say Adam comes out and knocks out Simon.
True, then there could be a third, the rubber match that comes out, and that could be a great fight. Actually, the funny thing is, I just watched. I don't know why I ended up watching it, but Jelena's third fight with Melissa Hernandez just before you called me.
Yeah.
So and that was probably my favorite fight. I don't know if maybe if it was my favorite fight of Jelena's or my favorite KO event in general, because that was just such a great night. That's the one where Jelena got cut across the forehead.
Yeah.
That deep cut. So, I mean, that was the third fight between them and the excitement leading up to it. So, yeah, there's a possibility of that. But at this point, I don't know what they have planned for Simon. So, they obviously are going to have things planned as I would have had planned if Adam won. So,
Yeah. Well, he's obviously going to get a softer opponent for his next one, but the next one after that is going to be another step up in competition.
for Simon,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. From what I know, yeah.
And then who knows what's going to happen for the Boogeyman. I seen that there was a Summer Slugfest poster that came out that he's on the front and center on that thing, so maybe we'll see him there. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it, and for September, I wanted him to take some time off, but it's Adam. So we already looked at having him on that slugfest in August prior to even the fight in Montreal or in Quebec. So it was already talked about. I don't want to take that chance because it's only about, I think, 2 weeks in between.
Yeah.
From mine and theirs. And since we already agreed to say he could fight on that one, I didn't want to say, let's do this one. And then his cut reopens or something like that. So, I didn't want to take that chance of doing any of that and leaving it such a short span. We've had that problem before. And then the commission kind of, is it 14 days? Is it a 13-day suspension? Is it 15 days? They just go insane. So I don't need that.
Well, the Summer Slugfest opponent probably would be a little bit safer at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Cause here we have to have, stronger opponents for him. So
Commission's definitely not going to clear some.
no.
I don't want to say shit can, but
Right.
they're not going to throw him in there with a guy that doesn't have a chance. And I'm
No.
not saying that the Summer Slugfest would ultimately bring in somebody that doesn't have a chance, because I think every heavyweight has a chance
Oh
to end
yeah,
the
for
fight.
sure, especially in heavyweight division.
Yeah. So we're going to see Adam eventually at some point, and then probably back at KO in December.
Yeah, I would look at having it in December and look at what we can do from there and see, let's see if we can build it back up or and then go back to Eye of the Tiger and say, okay, here he's back to being normal Adam. Let's
There,
see what we can do.
there is a fight in Quebec that's interesting for him, and that's Steve Bossy.
Right,
I have heard rumblings of that fight
right.
that Steve might want to do that fight after the Jean Pascal fight, which I think Steve Bossy is a fairly safe opponent for Adam, seeing as how Adam outsizes him by 6 inches.
Yeah, I think that it would be. I don't have a doubt about that. But here's my thing. Steve Bossy is with Yvonne Michel and group Yvonne Michel, so for the gym
Yeah.
company. I have nothing against them, but here's the way that boxing works. And if anyone should know that, it's Yvonne Michel. You need to contact the promoter if you want that fight to happen. You
Yes.
don't contact the coach. You don't contact the fighter. You contact the promoter because I have the promotional contract on the guy. So when they decide to go around it and not come to me with it, I don't like the way that works. So until you want to come to me and actually discuss it, then there is no fight. And I personally like to work with Eye of the Tiger. And since those are the two biggest in Quebec, I prefer to stay with the ones that have respected me and I respect them.
I believe Steve is locked into a 3-fight deal with Group Yvonne Michel, so he would be
I don't know.
coming.
Is it a 3-fight deal or is it like a yearly thing?
I think it's a 3-fight deal. I think that's what I read. Now, don't quote me on it because I'm not great at reading French.
Okay, so his second fight would be with Pascal.
Yeah,
So the third fight, so he has one fight left. Okay.
yeah. So realistically, it probably could be doable if Camille was willing to work with Steve Bossy.
Possibly. Yeah, I mean that's their business, right? So if he doesn't have a contract with Yvonne and Michelle anymore, it's a possibility he goes over to Eye of the Tiger, and then yeah, that's a fight that I'm willing to look at.
I'd like to see it anyway, but I think
Yeah.
it would look weird in the ring because Steve's shorter than I am.
Okay, so but he's a heavyweight?
So I don't know if you watched his fight against the Mexican fella at the first group show, but Steve was
No.
soft, like coming in at 224 for heavyweight. He is soft. He had a spare tire, and I'm not saying that the Mexican fella was any kind of specimen either, but realistically, Steve should probably be fighting at 185 to 190, like in that cruiserweight area.
Isn't that what he fought as MMA? Or
Uh,
did he do 205?
he fought at 185 in MMA.
Did he?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't understand why he would go up like that. He shouldn't go past 199.
No, like realistically, if he was going to fight at cruiserweight, he would be a smaller cruiserweight too.
Yeah. So I mean, cruiserweight's between 176 and 199, right? So.
Yeah. Just in stature wise, he would be small. He's 5'10" or 5'11". He's not a giant person by any means. So.
Yeah, and then put him next to Adam. That's like,
Well, it's the same as me standing next to Adam, right? Adam makes me look small.
yeah,
I'm a fairly big person, but he makes me look like a midget.
yeah.
So you got to think like I don't know what Adam's reach is. I'm gonna guess in the 77 to 80 mark, where Steve's would probably be a lot lower than that. But you just
And
kinda,
then with the height and reach advantage, yeah, I think that's an easy fight for Adam. But
yeah. Well, we'll find out what the hell he's got going on here soon, anyway. So
yeah,
you're known as a city slicker. You kind of like to stay in the concrete jungle of Edmonton.
uh-huh.
You don't like to venture out into the forest or anything like that, chase bunnies or raccoons around. But you
I know
actually
what you're
went
getting
camping.
at. Yeah, I did. I did. It was actually fun. I enjoyed it. Surprisingly, my brother-in-law wanted to go camping, and he's like, I want my kid to be different to what my sister and I were raised as. He's like, I don't want her to be you or your sister. That's what he told my sister. So my sister agreed. Okay, we could try out camping, but she's like, I can't be in like a used trailer or anything like that where someone else has been there. I don't know. Like she's OCD, neat, freak, clean, like crazy. So he went to an RV show just to look at them and comes home, and a few hours later during dinner he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I bought a trailer." So, yeah. So we went camping. We went and tried it. I think I enjoyed it better than my sister, which is surprising. Yeah, because she seems to be more of the down to earth person. But yeah, I actually had fun. I liked it.
But you stayed the night. You slept
I
over
stayed. I did. Yep.
out in the wilderness.
I did. In the
Wow.
trailer. I know people keep making fun of me. They're like, that's not camping if it's in a trailer. But yeah, it is. It's still camping.
Listen, when you're used to living in a condo downtown Edmonton, that's camping.
Well, right? So,
These
yeah,
these trailers though, they're pretty nice.
they are. Actually, I really liked it. I
Yeah,
mean, it's like a little dollhouse, but it's
still,
cute.
right? You
Yeah.
can shower in there. You can go to the bathroom. I'm sure it
Yeah.
has outdoor kitchen too outside.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So we were grilling things outside, and the kids had fun. And like I said, I actually enjoyed it.
Mel,
I would have stayed. I would have stayed one more night, but it started raining and got cold, and it was going to start hailing. So there was no point in sitting in the trailer the whole time. Like camping's about being outside,
you
right?
got scared.
I didn't get scared. I just didn't want to sit in a trailer all day.
So I just got back from camping. So we went
Hmm.
out to. I sent you pictures. It's a pretty nice place, right on the
Yeah.
lake on a boat. But we were there for 4 days, and I forgot what it's like to not shower for 4 days. It's really disgusting.
Oh, you don't have a shower in yours?
Yeah, but I just said fuck it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
But don't they have like those showers there too, don't they?
yeah. I don't go in that. I don't want.
No.
I don't know. I don't want to catch some fucking weird foot disease.
Well, you wear your flip-flops. It's different for men than it is for women.
You don't
So
think that these things are carried in water though? Like you'd have to put bags on your feet.
I don't know. I don't go in them, so I don't know.
Where do
But
you?
how do guys shower like hockey wise?
Well, in
It's
the
the same
shower with
thing.
other dudes. That's cool though. At least they're clean in the arena.
Oh, okay. I don't
But
know. I didn't look into it, so I don't know if they were clean or not.
well, I just went out on the boat and jumped in the water too, right? So,
Okay.
but we had a great time. I went fishing,
Mm-hmm.
caught a bunch of fish. We ate those.
Oh, nice.
Have you ever been fishing?
Once
Did you catch anything?
I did.
What'd you catch?
I don't know, some little thing like this.
Did you flip out?
No, so my grandpa was a huge fishing and hunting guy. And for years he wanted to take us, like his grandchildren, out to go fishing with him. He would even go ice fishing and everything like that. My mom didn't allow us to go ice fishing because she was always worried that we were gonna fall through the ice.
Oh, jeez.
So, she never allowed us to do that. And then as for the other fishing, yeah, we didn't. And then it got to the age where we would have gone with him, and he got sick and passed away. So in his memory, my aunt and uncle and their two kids and me and my sister went out fishing.
Oh,
Took
that's
his
nice.
fishing rods. Yeah, we took his fishing rods and stuff like in his memory to go fishing
Did
for
you,
him.
did
So
you keep this little fish? Did you stuff it just for a memory? Like this is the
no,
one and only fish I'm ever gonna catch.
no, I took a picture of it. That's it, with me holding it like this. But yeah, no, it was fun doing that. I like it. Like I don't mind the outdoors. I just burn very easily, and I don't like mosquitoes. But other than that, I'm okay. I like
Well,
being outside.
if you're ever out in Saskatchewan in the wintertime, I'll take you ice fishing. We go ice fishing all the time here because the ice is 3 feet deep.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. I won't be going because I would need a heater and that would melt the ice.
Oh, we have a heater.
Oh really?
Oh yeah,
Doesn't that like melt the ice?
not really when it's -40.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you'd survive though. You might turn
I
into
don't
an
know.
icicle.
I need that plus 28, right?
Listen, Mel, I'm really proud of you that you went camping in a trailer for the first time. Like I know you attempted it one time before, and you're like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
I didn't stay the night. Actually, I'm lying. One time, my girlfriend's husband took me, my sister, and another one of our girlfriends out, and we actually slept in a tent. Yeah, so I shouldn't say it was my first time camping. It was that was my first time about 10 years ago. And I just remember my dad saying to my friend's husband, good luck. And he told my brother-in-law the same thing. So we were in the tent, and it was about 3 tents set up because there was a bunch of my friend Colin, or my friend's husband's friends that came with us, and they had like a fucking riot because they were like, oh my God, these idiots have never been camping. So we're in the tent, and it was me, my sister, my girlfriend Amy, and my friend Stacy. And her husband was in the tent with the guys, or whatever, their own tents around. And all of a sudden my sister's like, something's dripping on me. Something's on my face. I feel something on my face. Something's dripping on me. She's driving us nuts. And Stacy's like, it's like condensation. And she's like, well, it's dripping on me. I don't like this, blah, blah, blah. And then one of the guys yelled out, shut the fuck up. It's just condensation. And she's like, how do they hear me? It's just a tent. We're like, if you're not behind a brick wall. Yeah. So Colin was, he was very patient with us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dear friend.
So that technically was our first time. Yeah.
Wow. In a tent though, too, you roughed it.
Yeah.
Did you have an air mattress?
Yeah. I can't remember.
It was that long ago, a decade ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't see you doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
it wasn't the plan to stay there that night. It was the plan to go meet them and just like have a campfire and some s'mores and a drink and whatever. And then it was like, screw this. Let's just try it out. Let's stay. So it wasn't meant to be. No.
Did you get any sleep?
I think so. I don't remember very much. I think I did. No, I did. Because I woke up in the morning and it was like bright in the tent and stuff. So yeah.
See, like,
yeah.
If you came in my trailer, you'd be like, oh, this thing sucks because it's mine's not brand new. Like our trailer's just there for sleeping in and if there's no kids doing weird things to each other.
Right.
But that's all it's there for. Like, we don't. If it's raining out, we have a TV in there and stuff like that. We'll hang out at the table and watch a movie or something like that. But
yeah,
we don't have any of these. We have a shower in there, but to be honest, I didn't even put propane in the trailer when we left, so we didn't have any hot water. So we had to boil our water and stuff like that. So
okay.
Yeah, we don't.
So that's what you need is the propane. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. Like I said, my brother-in-law set it all up.
We're going back out this weekend, so I got to fill up one of the propane tanks. It's kind of nice to have hot water just in case shit goes wrong.
Yeah, well, so they're going back out in July sometime, and they're going with the couple that originally took us, like from 10 years ago, and their kids and stuff. So I might go out for the one night.
Oh, you should bring a tent.
Yeah, no. No, we won't be doing the tent. Not when there's a trailer there. So yeah, I might do it one more time this summer and see.
Oh, you should take you said last time you were going to send me pictures. I got no pictures.
I know. I have a few pictures, but it wasn't really like, it was just me taking pictures of the campfire and of the kids and stuff. I didn't really take pictures of myself. There was no makeup on, and
yeah, I'm a bad person to send those pictures to. They'll make it on the internet.
So I didn't trust you. I didn't trust you. So and I was supposed to send them to Braidwood because he was like floored that I was going. But then I was like, okay, if I send it to him, he'll send it to Tanner. And then again, I don't trust you. So yeah.
Now, if you just asked me politely and said, listen, I don't want these on the internet, I 100% wouldn't do it. But
okay.
if you don't say it,
then it's all free for all. Okay.
Then it's game on.
So I'll remember next time I'll do that then. I'll be like, hey, because, there's only a few people that have seen me without makeup, so.
Because you're one of the greatest memes of all time that I've ever made, because it's reusable for every holiday.
Yeah, let's not be putting that one up either.
You don't like that one? That one's good.
No,
it's funny.
I hate that one.
You know who loves it?
That. Who?
Jelena loves it.
Oh, fuck. You sent it to her? I'm surprised she hasn't posted it everywhere.
Sent it to her on her birthday.
Oh, yeah, you said you were going to do that. I thought you were joking.
No.
Like, seriously, who takes that? You take a screenshot of me when the screen froze.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it always freezes at a really stupid look, so.
There's a bunch of other people that got it for Christmas too, because I can interchange the hats.
Who?
Well, Jelena, Brad, Cam, Adam, whoever I have phone numbers for that.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, whatever. There.
I think I sent. Oh no, I didn't send it to him because I knew that would go bad.
Who?
Well, I didn't send it to Lino. I was going to, but you know what would happen if I sent it to him?
Oh, he would post it everywhere.
100%. I
Just
didn't.
like he did when at the weigh-ins at the last KO event, we're trying to see if the scale was collaborated or whatever, and we brought it in and we tried to see from the ground or when it's on a piece of wood if it's the same.
Yeah.
So I stepped on the scale to see before we were letting the fighters do it. And he takes a picture and he's like, "Oh, look who's weighing in." And then there's actually some people that were like, "Oh, good for her. Good luck to her." Like I was like, "I'm not fighting. Like I'm in heels stepping on a scale." It looks stupid.
Some people are retarded.
Yeah.
Now,
Damn Lino.
there was a situation that happened at the last KO event, but I don't know if you want to talk about it. Like if we want to make this public knowledge at this point.
Well, what does it matter anymore? Like half the people know. Like seriously. So you saw Braidwood's remark to me on one of our posts, right?
Yes.
And I was like, "Son of a bitch." Okay, so yeah, go ahead, bring it up. Whatever. At this point, it's laughable.
Well, we have a mutual Facebook friend and somebody that I converse with on a regular basis. Sent me a video. Now, this isn't the only person that sent me this video.
Okay, well, the mutual one. Are you talking about the one that posted that mark to me?
Yes.
When where how I actually initially knew what happened.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, we weren't even friends on Facebook, her and I, at that time. So I have mutual friends with her, funny enough. Well, other than you and Adam.
Yeah.
Some girls that I grew up with, like as kids.
Oh.
But anyway, so I get home from my event that night and I see a post with tagged me in it saying, "Oh my God, epic." And she puts it in quotations. The worst part is I'm not wearing any underwear. That was awesome, Mel. Fucking love it. Or something like that. And I was like, what? So I respond. I'm like, "Oh my God, you heard me say that?" And I thought maybe, she was ringside or something, so they could have heard it. She's like, "No, it was broadcast live on the streaming." I was like, oh shit. So long story short, I get into the ring, which I hate doing. I hate going into the ring. I hate talking in front of people. And as I was getting out, I told my ring announcer, James, who I've known for like 25 years, I'm like, pull the ropes down. He's like, I have. I'm like, no, the worst part is I'm not wearing any underwear. So I didn't want to, flash anybody.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was caught on mic.
So where you got out of the ring, I was to the right. I didn't hear you say it. So
Okay.
it was said very quietly.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't like I was broadcasting it or yelling it.
But there
But
was
James
a microphone.
should know this.
There was a microphone that was on that caught it.
Yes, the ring announcers, James.
This is one of the greatest videos I have in my possession that I have not released to the internet.
I thought it was just audio.
No, it's video.
What are you talking about? I didn't see that.
Shut up, really?
No.
So I have a video of it, and it's an up-top shot, so you can't see anything. You're not flashing nobody. But as you're getting out of the ring, the worst thing is I'm not wearing any underwear, and then you toddle off.
I didn't know that it was video. I just thought it was the audio.
No, I have video evidence of this.
Okay, because about a week later, I didn't tell Jelena. I didn't tell anybody. I figured I'm going to keep that to myself. I erased it from my Facebook. And a week later, Jelena must have been watching the fights. And I get an audio thing at like 2:00 in the morning being like, "Did you know about this?" And I was like, I was half asleep. I'm like, yeah, I did. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Yeah. Not my finest moment.
This is a regular thing for you, though.
Yeah, I don't wear underwear, so.
Ever.
No.
You would think after how many shows you've done that these people would already know this. Like usually Brad's there and he handles the situation.
Brad knows the situation. So after Jelina's fight, when I was getting in and out of the ring, he's like, got your back. He knew, he knows
Yeah.
what's up. He stands behind me. He covers me. It's all good. So I don't have to worry about it. I get into the ring. Um, in Shawinigan, in Quebec there, I had to get in and out, but I didn't have a slit in the back, so I wasn't as worried. And I don't know, the shoes that I was wearing weren't as high. I was a little bit more comfortable, but yeah, yeah. Actually, the funny thing is when Jelena fought in France the last time, I was in the corner and I was in the back room and we're sitting there and my dad's like, "Hey, you're not getting into the ring. Stay outside of the ring." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Because you don't know how to get in and out of the ring, obviously." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "Well, why do you have so many problems at home?" But that night in France, I was wearing pants. So I'm like, "No, I'll be fine tonight. Don't worry about it." He's like, "No, it's your stupid heels. You don't know how to get in and out of a ring, this and that." I'm like, "I know how to get in and out of a ring, Dad." He's like, "No, you don't. So don't get into the ring." And I'm like, "Jesus Christ." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." He's like, "Well, why? Why does it make such a difference?" I'm like, "I'm wearing pants." And he's like, "And?" I'm like, "I don't wear underwear, okay?" All of a sudden, he just went, Jelena with her gloves just covers her face.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I had to tell him because he kept like saying that I was incompetent.
Well, I figured like on fight night, seeing as how you make the decision to not wear underwear, that you would just wear suit pants or something like something stylish. That
No,
no, you just
no.
fuck it, right?
I'll wear a dress. I rarely get into the ring. I don't usually do. The last one I did twice because of the fact that I was made to do a speech that I hate doing, and the second time was because Jelena. If Jelena fights, I usually get into the ring. But I don't, if you notice on the rest of the fights, I haven't. I might go stand at the side of the ropes, but I don't get in and out.
Every once in a while, you have to go in there and do a little talk.
That was my first time.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's Jelena I'm thinking about. She's always getting in there talking about something.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. I always tell her, I'm like, go in when she's not fighting. I don't. That was my first time actually having to hold the mic and speak to the entire
Oh, you were
venue.
terrified.
Yeah, I was sweating.
I
That's, you
told
know, when you
you.
asked me if I sweat, I was sweating that night.
I told you I would come and hold your hand.
Yeah, well, I know. Well, James held me and I was like holding on to him really tight.
I seen
I
that.
just I don't. I'm not one of those that likes to be all in the spotlight and look at me, see me, listen to me. I'm not. Even press conferences, it took me a really long time. Really long time.
I was going to ask you, like, how do you do it at the press conference then? Because obviously, there's not as many people at the press conference as
Well,
the
the
fight,
lights
right?
aren't shining in my face. I'm not in the middle of a ring
Yeah.
with everyone staring at you, and there wasn't like freaking 3,000 people in front of me, right? So, um, and at the press conference, it took me a long time. It did. Dad and Jelena made fun of me for a really long time, and I hated doing it. And then I finally told them like both to shut it, and got a little courage that day. And I was like, "Hey, screw this, I'm doing it." But I've gotten a little bit better. And then when I had to deal with the moratorium and speaking in front of cameras and the city council, so I'm getting better at it. Not great. I can do these interviews all day long. I can do a phone interview all day long. Put a camera, an actual camera, like right now, to me, this is like I'm talking to someone on FaceTime. So whatever.
Yeah.
But you put an actual camera in front of me, yeah, it's like I turn into Chandler Bing from Friends.
Wow.
Seriously, yeah. It's like awkward and like I start like looking and I'm like, "Hey, no, like try to do it on this angle because the nose shows on this angle." And oh yeah, I get all flustered.
So, like, if somebody called you and said, "Mel, you have you have an interesting job where it's mostly men that do your job," would you come and
Yeah.
speak at a women's empowerment group? You wouldn't do it.
Oh Jesus, I don't know if I could. I would have like Jelena coach me on that one because she's done so many. I don't know. I don't know where I would even start. Like who would want to listen to me? I don't know. Like
I think there's a ton of people that would listen to you. You have a tough job, and you're literally at the top of the heap in a man's industry right now as a fight promoter. There's not many of you.
no, there isn't. There isn't. There's the odd few in the States and a couple in Europe.
You signed autographs in Quebec. People were
Yeah,
people were
that
like,
was
"Oh
so
shit,
weird. That
Mel's
was
here."
so weird. It was honestly, I've never done it. I've never signed an autograph. I did once for some kid at my fights, and I was like, why? And he's like, well, but you put these shows on, right? I was like, oh, he was so cute. But I mean, he was like 8 years old, right? So I
Yeah.
just signed it. I was like, okay. But yeah, like this one guy actually printed out some pictures of me and asked me to sign them. And I was like, what? And Enza, my dad's wife, was next to me. And she looked over. I'm like, is this real life? She's like, right? Like, what?
Hey, this was a
I don't even have like a signature. My signature is like the way I sign checks. I don't have an autograph signature.
so this gentleman that printed these pictures off. He was a normal human being.
Seem to be.
Are you sure?
Well, I don't know.
Just saying, like you don't know what he's doing with these pictures.
Well, why would he ask me to sign them?
Maybe that's part of it. Who knows?
Maybe I don't know. You're grossing me out now. Yeah, but it happened twice, and then someone else asked me, but it wasn't. It was just like on a I don't know. It was on an article. There was an article on me there, and they asked me to sign that. I was like, seriously, this is weird.
Did you get a translation on the article?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you do have one.
Hmm.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Okay. I haven't.
Yeah.
I know like where it is, but it's in French.
Well, I Google translated it first, and then
Oh.
Julie actually from Punching Grace did it for me. She
Okay.
read it out to me in English. Yeah.
It was nice then.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You're saying pretty
Hmm.
good. You're not saying great.
No, it was good. It was good. I mean, like, I'm very critical of myself, right? So, no matter what picture, no matter what I say, no matter what interview I do, I always look back and think, oh, Jesus, why did I say that? Or why couldn't I have said it differently? Even at the press conference in Quebec, it was like I had things in my head and went up there and I was like, oh, geez, okay, here we go again. So, yeah,
So while you were in Quebec, Eye of the Tiger, they put on like a big. This was a big scene for the Braidwood Keane fight. They did a really good
huge.
job of promoting it with the outdoor workouts and the press conferences and the stare downs and all
Yeah.
that. Was there a was it looked like there was a shitload of people that showed up to the outdoor workout.
Yeah, there was actually. I was surprised. There was a lot of people, and there was a lot of Braidwood fans. So when we walked up, people actually had Team Braidwood T-shirts that they made. Like it wasn't like, yeah, it was their own personal ones that they made and said Braidwood on the back, Team Braidwood, stuff like that.
Nice.
So it was pretty cool. People were passing over their kids to Adam to take pictures with. At one point, he had gloves on still, and someone passed him. I swear, the baby couldn't have been more than 4 months. And I'm like, oh my God, no. No, me and Rich were like, take the baby away. Because he had his gloves on still. So he's like trying to hold this baby.
Yeah. What are you supposed to do?
Um, yeah. So there was actually a lot of people that were there. And then, Simone came in and the stare down happened and whatever. And it was funny because they said, do you want to get into the ring for that? I'm like, no, I'm good.
What if it
No
popped?
need.
Yeah. Like what if it popped off and you're in there in heels?
That's true.
Like at
That's
least you
true.
got something you could stab somebody with. Just take your shoe off.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just like, I'm good. Like, yeah, exactly. If something happened like that, I would have just got pummeled. I mean, at least Camille being in there, he's a guy, he's a big guy, so he can handle himself. I would have just been thrown around. I'd have had to like go hide behind him. So
So the French people were they were receptive to everything then obviously. They loved
they
it.
were, honestly, we were treated very well. There's no complaints there. I don't find in any way that they could have treated us better. And I'm talking about the people at the workout. I'm talking about Eye of the Tiger, all of that in general. They treated us very well. The only issue was when we were leaving the venue.
What happened?
So, okay, so Dad had a rental
Yeah.
because he flew in from Croatia and then drove from Montreal to Shawinigan. So he had a rental, and we're leaving the venue. He's like, "Hey, let's get out of here. Like, we're hungry at this point and stuff like that. Let's just go." And people are starting to like yell, and say things, and we're just walking, and we just figured it was like the French yelling between each other, because you have to realize when we first got there was like 5,000 people tailgating.
Yeah. That was the big thing. Tailgate party at the Finch.
Huge, huge. I was like, seriously, like tailgating at a boxing event? This is awesome. um so like people were outside still, and we just figured it was people rowdy talking. No, then they started coming up to us, and then they started coming up to the car, and my dad's like, what the fuck is going on? And all of a sudden Jelena's like, it's her face has been everywhere on the news and shit, they recognize her. So it's like,
Oh, they
oh
were after
god.
you.
Well, they were saying stuff, I'm sure, to say, because I went in there saying I was very confident about the fights.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure who knows what they had to say to me. And so she's like, it's her. They see her face. Fuck, right? So then I was like, oh God. So I literally had to put my head down in the car so that we could just get out of that parking lot without people coming up to the car and saying shit.
Wow.
So that was the only time. But I mean, that's, Simon's hometown. There's going to be a lot of people.
It's expected.
It's expected, I guess, and they're very passionate about boxing there, and had words to say. Like I said, I didn't know what they were saying, but I'm sure it wasn't
Wasn't great.
it wasn't great. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that you had a very fun drive back to Montreal from Shawinigan because your dad drives like Mario Andretti.
Yeah, and he wasn't even driving that fast that day, but he was just in and out. He got us there really quick.
Oh, yeah. And there were some interesting songs that came on.
Yeah. So, we're sitting there, and at this point, we're kind of done talking about the fight.
Yeah.
My dad was just, I'm done. And I'm like, okay. So we're like, can you put the radio on or something? Okay. So he puts the radio on, and then there's some French talking. And then the first song that comes on when we turn on the radio is Another One Bites the Dust. And I just stopped and started laughing, like hysterically, just started laughing. And then Jelena starts laughing. My dad starts laughing. His wife starts laughing. We just all start laughing. And it was just like Another One Bites the Dust. And that's, a few of my guys in Quebec now. So we just started laughing. And then, no joke, the next song right after that was Jelena's walkout song, The Final Countdown. So we started laughing even harder. I'm like, really? This is so ironic right now? Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
It's kind of funny because you called me and you said that these songs came on, and not 24 hours later, I jump in my truck and The Final Countdown's on.
And then you said that, yeah. So, and that song, it's not like that's something that gets played a lot. Like, it's 30 years
No.
old, so it doesn't happen very often. It's the odd time that I'm switching through my radio stations. And even then, I don't know the last time I heard it other than Jelena's fight or when I watch Rocky. But yeah, so it was just odd that it was twice within like a week that it was on. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I Instagram storied it and tagged Jelena, and I had to.
Yeah.
It's not every day that Europe comes on the radio.
No.
Never.
No.
I've never heard it on the radio. The only time I've ever heard it in probably the last 20 years is Jelena.
Really?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've heard it over the years a couple times, but very, very rarely and very far apart. Like there's yeah, not very often that you hear it.
So I'll tell you, like, I'd never ever listened to the radio. I always hooked my iPhone up to the truck. And for some reason on that day, my phone wouldn't connect to the goddamn Bluetooth.
And it happened to be that. Yeah, that's funny. Because you know what? The funny thing is actually right after that, Jelena was already pulling out her phone to hook up her phone to the Bluetooth or whatever in the rental. But before she got that all done, the two songs came on. And just because the first one came on and it was like making us laugh, we left it. And then right after that was hers. So yeah, we didn't get it, but she was ready to do that too. So from there on, yeah, we had her music on. But
wow. So we're not very far away from September, actually. Like
no.
we're in the first week of July. We got August, and then September 7th. So
Yes.
September 7th is actually my father's birthday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I will not be calling him on September 7th because either which way, whether I fight or whether I don't, I'll be at KO Boxing.
Oh, you can call him in the morning.
Well, I guess like this time I wouldn't have to babysit Adam.
Right.
I
So you
could
have free time.
could literally just hang out. Maybe I'll
It is
babysit Cam.
it is babysitting though, right?
Um, I don't,
Like seriously.
I don't.
Seriously, I did it. 10 days. 10 days of it.
Listen, Adam keeps a very busy schedule, and he has the attention span of a squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
So to keep up with him, and to keep him from doing things that aren't exactly, I don't want to say bad because he doesn't do bad things, but as a guy that's getting ready to have a fight in a couple days, you might want to restrain yourself a little bit from overexertion.
Yeah.
So it does make it tough, but I feel that Adam and I are wired a little bit more like each other than maybe you and Adam are. Because I could picture you, you're in Montreal, you want to go around and you see the sights, you go to the church. Adam does,
No,
Adam,
no, no. Actually, the funny thing is Rich and I did that separately.
oh,
Yeah, Adam went, I don't know, for a massage or something, and he went to lie down for a bit. So Rich and I went for a couple hours and saw some cathedrals and basilicas and some just walked the streets around downtown Montreal.
cool
So
things.
yeah, yeah. So Rich and I did that, and then I did that after again when I went back to Montreal after the fight was done. So no, 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 that wasn't my big thing. It was like, but God damn it, he eats every 3 hours.
Yeah, that's what keeps him calm. You have to keep
Every
him
three
full, like
hours.
full of food.
Yeah, I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I like my food. I like to eat. But every 3 hours, it was like, holy shit. So then I would go and I would be like, no, I'm not going to eat anything because we just ate 3 hours ago and I'll eat in the, 3 hours that we go again later kind of
Yeah.
thing. And of course you can't do that. It's like, oh, okay, you're there. So then I'll be like stupid and I'll just order a poutine. Well, I might as well have ordered something else or a full meal because poutine is just as bad for you.
Oh
Um,
yeah, it's terrible for you,
yeah.
especially in Quebec.
Oh, yeah. So then I would order that, or then I would order a full meal and give him like a quarter of it or half of it because I'm eating every 3 hours. Well, let's just say that a pair of jeans that I brought with me that I wore on the second day that I was there, which was to go to that open workout. Um, when I tried putting them on at the end of my trip, they didn't come halfway up.
Oh, you're a little bloated.
I was fat. I gained like 7 or 8 pounds. And and then the dress that I wore to the fight night, yeah, I bought a small in that. Yeah, I should have thought ahead of time because it was pretty tight.
Did
It
you
was
have to
pretty tight.
Vaseline up to get in that thing?
No, luckily it was like kind of stretchy in there and I pulled it down, but the medium probably would have fit after that point because 7 pounds. But yeah, it was every 3 goddamn hours.
Yeah, that well,
Yeah.
I eat about every 3 hours, but it's not. I'm not putting anything like I don't eat garbage. Like so when I'll
No,
eat.
but eating every 3 hours when you're at home is one thing. Eating every 3 hours at a restaurant is
That's
another,
different. That's very different.
right?
Yeah.
So if I'm at home and like every 3 hours, yeah, I'm snacking on stuff, maybe even a chocolate bar here and some watermelon there, or just a piece of toast here. But when you're going to a restaurant, you're ordering meals and everything's like so sodium filled and you just feel sick. Like
Oh
even
yeah.
ordering yeah, it was just like, should I just get a salad now? Because I can't even put anything more in my mouth. Like I'm just full. But I would just, yeah, it never happened. It was always like pastas and wraps and stuff. It was just full meals all the time.
Now,
It was crazy.
when you came home, did you put the that elliptical machine to work that's in your office or the treadmill or whatever's in there?
Nope, it's still sitting there, dust all
Clo-
over it.
Clothing rack.
Yeah.
No, I'm so proud of you right now.
Hmm.
'Cause- I'm guessing you lost it all though. It's probably just water.
No,
Really?
no, no,
Oh.
no. 2 pounds of it was water, I guess. That went away as soon as I got home.
You might have
The
to
rest
get
of it
into
didn't.
like a speed walking group. I could see you doing that.
Maybe. I need to get myself some runners, I guess.
Or You can come to Jelena's gym when I show up in Edmonton with me, and we can go do that boxer size thing.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I mean, she was yelling at me while we were there. She's like, God, Mel, you need some runners. Like, that's it. Let's go right now and get you some runners. Because I was wearing the flats and I just couldn't even walk anymore. She was like calling me a baba. Because at the end of it, like, I could barely. So we're going to the airport. We drop off the rental and we're walking with our bags to the actual airport. And I'm holding my big suitcase and I'm walking with it. And Juliana's like, here, give it to me. And I'm like, no, no, you don't understand. I'm leaning on this thing. Like, I'm trying. Like, my feet are killing me so bad. So I'm using it as like a rolling cane.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God, this is an awesome idea. A rolling cane. And I'm like, we need to like patent this shit. We need to do a rolling cane for people. I don't understand why those other canes you have to pick up, bump, and move. My dad's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, a rolling cane. He's like, what are you, retarded? He's like, you're going to flip over on that. And I'm like, no, you won't. Just as he says it, I flip with my suitcase.
Did you fall
Yeah,
right on
I'm
your
like,
butt?
I went forward.
Right in your face.
Yeah, I was like going forward and I had to like catch everything. And he looks at me and I'm like, okay, well, there's some kinks that need to be worked out. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Mel, you are a little accident prone, I feel, though. I feel like,
I'm actually not.
really? You're coordinated? You don't trip over your own feet?
No.
Wow.
Nope.
Just when you're leaning on a suitcase, you
Just
get all
leaning on the
fucked
suitcase.
up.
Well, I was exhausted. Come on. It was 2 weeks in Quebec. It was 10 days with Adam. Um,
I've done a week. It's tough.
After the fight, I needed a few drinks. So it was a long, long period in my life. Yeah.
All right, we can wrap this thing up. I got to talk to you off the air anyway for a couple minutes, but September 7th,
September
KO
7th,
Boxing. Who
KO
we got?
Boxing.
Who we got on there?
Cam O'Connell, Robbie Cousin, Julian Klima, Santoro Brothers. Yeah, bunch of them on there. There's some question marks, but we're working that out. It should be known I would say in the next week, I'll know better.
Perfect. And that's the final shot.